Shannon Phillips, Alberta's environment minister, blamed the Harper government for pipelines not getting built. Phillips said in a press release, and I quote, "We have made very little progress in that direction under the former federal government's rules," end quote. Now, she said this in response to the federal Liberal government changing the way pipelines are approved and reviewed in this country, wherein now the Liberals have actually increased the barriers to pipeline construction. They've made climate change and other sorts of social license quackery part of the process instead of the actual technical, tangible standards the National Energy Board had used to evaluate pipelines in the past. They added rules when we need approvals the most. Apparently, Shannon Phillips thinks onerous and more subjective rules will get pipelines approved. And that's just crazy talk. Phillips is wrong all over the place with her statement. Now, I want to set the record straight about Shannon's statement and about Shannon Phillips herself. Phillips said pipelines saw very little progress under the Harper government. That's remarkably untrue. Besides the pipelines that do not cross provincial boundaries, the Conservatives oversaw the approval and final construction of the Enbridge Alberta Clipper pipeline from Hardisty, Alberta to Superior, Wisconsin, the Kinder Morgan Loop from Hinton, Alberta to Rearguard, BC, the Enbridge Line 9 reversal from Westover, Ontario to Montreal, and the Trans-Canada Keystone from Hardisty, Alberta to Cushing, Oklahoma. The XL portion of that pipeline is still held up by the Obama administration. So no, Ms. Phillips, pipelines are being built. Phillips doesn't know or doesn't want you to know about these ones though. And that should alarm us because she should know and she should tell us. She's the environment minister. And the public doesn't hear about these successful pipelines because activists aren't being paid to make noise and to oppose them. And about Shannon Phillips herself, it's pretty rich that she would scold the former federal government for lack of progress on export pipeline construction, considering she herself has been such an integral part of the anti-oil, anti-Alberta movement for so long. I'll give you but a few examples of this. Shannon Phillips worked in the war room for BC NDP leader Adrian Dix during his 2013 election campaign. That campaign was focused like a laser beam on blocking pipelines from Alberta. He lost because BCers rejected his anti-development vision for Canada. Phillips also once said that pipelines don't create legitimate jobs. Welders, pipeliners, and all those upstream jobs in oil and gas, you guys aren't legitimate jobs. Please proceed directly to the closest wind turbine ranch for your reprogramming. And then there's that book Phillips co-authored with Greenpeace activist and anti-oil protester Mike Hudema. Hudema is best known for being a leader at Occupy Edmonton, trespassing at refineries and unfurling a banner in protest at an event with Premier Ed Stelmach. He's a local anti-oil kook who incidentally does a lot of oil-fueled globetrotting. The book she co-authored with Hudema was called An Action a Day Keeps Global Capitalism Away. And it advocates just the kind of things anti-oil activists do to block major projects like pipelines. It was basically a how-to manual to oppose Alberta. Actually, there are so many reasons why Phillips is disingenuous about why there is difficulty getting export pipelines built in Canada. If you go to TheDestroyers.ca, you can download my book, The Destroyers, Rachel Notley and the NDP's War on Alberta, and read all about it there. I filled a whole chapter on Shannon Phillips. Here's the thing, Phillips can't blame Harper for not getting pipelines built. If she wants to know who to blame, she needs to look in the mirror. For the Rebel.media, I'm Sheila Gunn Reid.